What's going on, guys? It's master horticulturalist and YouTube superstar Paul Outlaw here. I got like 15 subscribers. You can't mess with me. It's exciting for the people at home, I'm sure. Nobody watches this crap anyway. I can do it. I can do this. What's going on, guys? Today we're going to do a little short video about a very common lawn care product, but it's probably one of the most misunderstood and misused products in all of lawn caredom. What is it? Lime. Pelletized limestone. All right, what we've got today is a yard that the pH needs to be moved a little more than a point up. So we're going to use limestone on it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the lime and tell you a little bit of something about the rate. A lot of times people will just use lime without a soil test, and if your pH is already right, you might be moving it out of range. But probably the most common thing people do with it is just throw a bag or two out. A bag of lime don't cover diddly, let me tell you. You need a lot of lime to have any effect and to move the scale. And I'll give you a little bit of an idea about how much we're going to use on this yard coming up. Stay tuned. Okay, this is the lawn we're going to be working on today. It's a work in progress. You can see over there they had a raised plant bed that was taken out, and the grass really hasn't spread into that much. But what happened here was in the early summer, a application of methylfuron methyl was made at 1 ounce to the acre to take out the bahia grass that was crowding out this yard. There was some Bermuda in it, but it was very mixed with bahia grass. But the one application actually at nearly 1 ounce per acre took, I'd say 99% of the bahia grass out and gave this Bermuda some room to run. And it was also dosed with 4600, which made this stuff take off. Right now the color's kind of fading out of it. Like I said, it's been early summer since any fertilizer applications have been put on this lawn, but the soil test has finally come back and our pH is off. So if we're going to be successful, we have to adjust the pH, and we're going to use lime to do it. And the thing about lime that is very misunderstood, I think, is that some people will just put it out because that's what folks have done, you know. They always just, oh, let's put out a bag of lime. A bag of lime ain't gonna do much. What you need is a lot of lime to move the pH any on this. And so on this yard, we're gonna use about 1,100 pounds to get the desired adjustment we need. And I'll show you the backyard now. Okay, here we are in the back. Well, it's focusing on me and the sunlight's back there blowing it up, but I'll step out in a second. But again, back here, we got a lot of the competition out of the way and made room for the Bermuda grass. So this is the best this yard has ever looked. So we're making progress here, and I'll shoot a little bit of the grass and stuff and let you see what that looks like. But again, we're going to do the lime application, get our pH right, and probably one more round of fertilizer, and maybe take another look at some different weed control for it. Crabgrass has started to come in, but there's been no pre-emergent put down here, and so you know, nothing to prevent any crabgrass, so obviously that would be a problem. But it's mid-August right now, so not an overwhelming concern with the crabgrass because Mother Nature will take care of that pretty soon. Like I said, it's a work in progress. Hang on, people. I'll show you some grass. Okay, here's a little look at some of our Bermuda grass. It's filling in. It's not super duper 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 thick right now, but it's a handful to cut. But Bermuda grass, I pulled this out a second ago, runs mainly by stolons. There are some rhizomes, which are underground roots, which will pop up a new grass plant. But what mainly happens in Bermuda grass is it'll run out these stolons, and at the node right here, it'll shoot out some little roots that tack down. But I mean, look how long these stolons can get. Pretty cool, pretty cool. But see, it's got roots all down it, and I just pulled that out just to show you what it does. But all right, we're going to get to adjusting this pH, and we'll show you some. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. You know, going to the hardware store and buying a bag of lime probably ain't gonna do a lot for you. That's what we're gonna put on this yard today. So we'll get it in my tow behind. We're gonna go to work. Stay tuned. I'll put about 6 or 8 bags of this stuff at a time in my spreader and go to work. Okay, we're still throwing her down there. There's a hopper full of it. We're getting closer and closer to completion. But you might ask, hey man, I thought you could put something like Solucal out and it would get about 4 times the coverage of pelletized limestone. Well, the old guy who I take a little advice from around here, who's been spraying and working on lawn fertility and doing an amazing job for about 35 years, said, hey buddy, read that bag. So I read the bag of Solucal, and in the state of North Carolina, it doesn't recognize that. It says you got to use about the same rates of Solucal as you do pelletized limestone. Okay, I think that where we are at on this lawn, if memory serves me correct, is on the pH is about a 5.4 maybe, and we want to move that on up, hopefully get it in the low 6s. So we're going to throw down about 35 pounds per 1,000 square feet on this one and see what happens. So Solucal might not always be the deal, or at least the researchers for NC State don't seem to agree with some of the claims of the product. Oh yeah, I'm sure somebody's gonna ask, calibrating a broadcast spreader. You can do it. There's ways to do it. I don't do it. So what I usually do is, what you could do is kind of cordon off the lawn into sections and know how much square foot you got in each section, and make sure you run out your hopper in that allotted space. That's probably a pretty decent idea. But something like this, and with that pull spreader, I load it up, gag it wide open, run her till she's empty. But you know, I'm pretty sure I'm getting pretty uniform. You can go one direction, then come back over the other direction. But this was a lot of product to put out. So, you know, calibration on something like that, I'm not that worried about. And I don't know that I could really even get that pull spreader too accurately calibrated to start with. I mean, I can run over a section and know about how much I put out and how much I'm covering. Just kind of get a general idea in my head, but preciseness on that, not too precise. But anyway, I'm happy with what we got done. Okay, they're all empty. There we go, we got it out. When you get done, you're gonna wanna take your backpack blower and blow off all your concrete surfaces, because this stuff will damage the concrete if you let it stay on there and get wet. But guess I can summarize a little bit and close out. This application is about, I want to say 35 pounds per 1,000 square feet of limestone, pelletized lime, whatever you want to call it. So it takes a lot to move the needle in, and we're aiming, we would like to push it up at least a full point, but that's probably not going to happen. I'm going to say we'll get 3/4 of a point of pH gain by this. But anyway, man, it's just a misunderstood product there. You either don't use enough or use it when you don't need to. So, you know, get your soil test, find out if you have to move the pH. If you don't put the lime on it, or it's going to take you out of range. Like I said, with Bermuda grass, we want to be 6 to 6.5 on our pH scale. That's where it's happy. So that's where we're going to try to make it land with this application. If you just look at the grass and say, I'm gonna throw some lime on it. You could already be at 6.5 and you could push yourself out of range with a lime application. So make sure you get the soil test. There are some probes and such out there that will read pH. I don't know if they work, I haven't tried them. I got a buddy who owns a local nursery and he's got some of those, I forget what they're called, but they're, you know, about 80, 100 bucks a piece, and they look like a big brass carrot with a gauge on the end of it. He swears they work. So I don't know, maybe I'll try one of those out and see. But soil test is the only way to tell that I know of and that I have used. And the state of North Carolina says Solucal is going to go out at the same rate as pelletized limestone, basically, just a little less on the Solucal, but so it's more expensive, so it doesn't make sense to use that until I can learn differently. So we're just still going old school with the limestone. I think a bag of this stuff, I don't remember exactly what this one cost me, but I think you can get a 40-pound bag for in the $3 to $5 range. So it's not a very expensive proposition, and it takes a lot of it to move the needle. But there you go, it's just a little bit about lime, and we're gonna line up a fertilizer application for this yard. You can see that circle right there, that's where a plant bed was. And the Bermuda grass hasn't really taken off in there, but the crabgrass sure has, and the nutsedge. I did a little nutsedge action on it over the weekend. I think that it's suppressed it. It's not sticking up as much. It's still in there, but it doesn't grow as fast. Well, anyway, I got a lot more work to do. That's my quick 2 cents worth on adjusting the pH, putting out lime. Get that soil test, dog. All right, people, I'll see you next time. I appreciate you watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Till next time.